Happy Wednesday, 9:04, Daily Show. We got a good one for all of you guys today. Going to be talking to Mayor Morrow from Grafton. Going to get some highlights and things to look forward to in 2026 for Grafton. A lot of things coming down the pipeline. The Memorial of Military Ascent and the new ferry news is exciting too. We'll touch base on all of that, I'm sure, and so much more with him in just the next couple of minutes. The 10 o'clock hour is full of Hayner Library. Lacy McDonald going to take us back 100 years ago and have some fun with her. And then at 10:35, Mary Cordes joins us. We're rescheduling Beyond the Shelves from Monday. We all got snowed in, so Mary's going to join us today and fill us in on the latest from Hayner at 10:35. In the meantime, it's you and I and the four walls in this studio and taking you through your daily dose of local. Make sure you download that RiverBender.com app today. You'll never miss out. You can join myself and well over tens of thousands of people that have the app. And then with Around the Riverbend, you can join me and well over 90,000 people that get that Around the Riverbend daily email update, where you'll never miss out with your daily dose of everything local. Oh, by the way, thank you guys for the birthday wishes. I appreciate it. I woke up and, man, started to get the love today. I'm just tired today. That's the only thing. Other than that, it's been a great birthday, you know. Good Wednesday. See, that's the bad part about, you know, I'm not really a big birthday person to begin with, but if it's on a Friday, totally cool with it. You know, like, it's a great day. But if it's in the middle of the week, it's like, you know, it's another day. All right, top of the hour news now. Here's what you need to know. Sorry, I had to regenerate some news for you. Here's what we're following on RiverBender.com today. Austin Mullins, 22 of Alton, has pled guilty to first-degree murder in the fatal shooting of Jake Wall, 23 of Wood River. The shooting took place on July the 24th, 2023, during a party in Wood River. Mullins admitted to fatally shooting Wall and entered his plea before Judge Kyle Knapp in Madison County Circuit Court on January the 27th. Prosecutors agreed to a sentencing cap of 40 years, which they plan to pursue at Mullins' sentencing hearing. The case was prosecuted by Assistant State's Attorney Morgan Hudson and Lauren Miracle, with support from Wood River Police and other agencies. The sentencing date has yet to be determined. We'll keep you updated when that is scheduled. Walk Lake in Jerseyville, it's set for significant changes as the city prepares to remove a narrow horseshoe landmass that became unsafe and eroded over time. The Jerseyville City Council unanimously approved the bid award for dredging and earthwork improvements on January the 20th. This landmass, originally created to provide extra fishing space, is now a safety hazard and difficult to maintain. Whitman Construction won the project with a bid of $56,641. Work scheduled to begin in February to enhance visitor safety and preserve the lake's environment. Also in the news today, Congresswoman Nikki Budzinski recently presented Glenn Carbon with a $1.1 million federal funding to build a new water treatment facility capable of processing 3 million gallons daily. Wow. Currently relying on Illinois Water, the Village aims to gain control over water production, maintenance, and rates to support its residential and commercial growth. Glen Carbon's mayor, Bob Marcus, emphasized the investment as crucial for the village's future, with design work complete and bids opening in February. Budzinski highlighted affordability benefits and noted that funding is part of a larger federal appropriations bill, which is pending Senate approval. The investment marks a milestone for the community, and we'll keep you updated on that transition for Glen Carbon. Also in the news today, we'll give you some local sports news before we take a look at weather. The Marquette Catholic High School dance team, they qualified for state, taking place this week in Bloomington, coached by Megan Stevenson. The team earned their spot in the state finals following a successful season. The dancers representing Marquette Catholic include Sophia Jacobs, Nia Martin, Elisa Buchanan, Bella Johnson, Alana Taylor, Lexi Stevenson, Reagan Hayner, Bertie Elliott, and Riley Clarkin. Recognized as Tucker Automotive Repair and Tire Female Athletes of the Month, congratulations on that recognition. The team is preparing to showcase their talents on a larger stage. The state competition marks an important milestone for the dance squad, and we'll keep you updated through RiverBender.com/sports. Let's take a look at weather this morning. 16 degrees, and after the last couple of days, it feels like 45 out there. The real feel, though, is 15. Today, freezing fog this morning to otherwise partly sunny. It will be chilly. Tonight, partly cloudy and bitterly cold. Temperatures today reach 31 degrees. That will be the warmest over the next 5 days, and will drop down to 7 degrees overnight as we head into Thursday. On Thursday, they're calling for a few stray afternoon snowflakes, a 45% chance of that, a high of 25, a low of 4 degrees as we head into Friday. On Friday, a high of 16, a low of 1, and on Saturday, a high of 18, a low of 3. On Sunday, we start our week and the month of February with partly sunny skies, a high of 27, and a low of 13 degrees. That's a look at your next 5 days. Here's what's happening now. 16 degrees in downtown Alton. At 9:10, it feels like 15 for time and temperature throughout the day. 618-465-4545, this time powered by Tom Lane. He's your local State Farm agent. You can also stay up to date in real time all the time by downloading the RiverBender.com app today. Hey, before we take a quick break, it is cold flu season and, just sick season. And, you don't want to go to the emergency room for a cold. And, sometimes it takes a little bit too long to get to your primary care provider. Do you even need that? Maybe you just need a antibiotic. Maybe you just need to be seen and have a quick checkup, if you're feeling under the weather. And that's where OSF Healthcare comes in with their prompt care services right there on Godfrey Road by the Godfrey Walmart. I mean, they really take care of you. They treat you like family. They give you that expert care that they've been known for. I mean, think about this. Last year, OSF St. Anthony's received the Magnet with Distinction recognition. They're one of only 40-plus hospitals in the world to receive that distinction. That's a lot of great work. And they bring that back to their prompt care service in every branch of that OSF network. You can learn more about every service they provide at osfhealthcare.org. Or if you're experiencing a little bit of a cold today, maybe you're getting ready to start running a fever, you just feel yourself getting sick, run to urgent care. You don't need to give them a call. Just stop in, get in and out. They'll treat you pretty fast, and you'll be off and back feeling better in no time right there, courtesy of OSF Healthcare. osfhealthcare.org, and don't forget to tell them that you know who sent you over their way. All righty, a quick break. We're going to come back, talk to Mayor Morrow of Grafton, and really get all the insights of the great things coming in 2026. You stay there. I'll be here, RiverBender.com, Roku TV. We'll be right back after this.
Struggling with depression that just won't go away? At Precision TMS, we offer a non-invasive, drug-free treatment designed to target the areas of the brain linked to mood regulation. Using FDA-cleared transcranial magnetic stimulation, gentle magnetic pulses help reactivate underperforming brain circuits without surgery or sedation. Many patients experience real relief, even after other treatments haven't worked. Our experienced team provides personalized care every step of the way. Contact Precision TMS today to see if TMS therapy is right for you.
Throughout all life stages, you need someone in your corner, guiding you on your health and wellness journey. At OSF Healthcare, that's your primary care provider. Your OSF primary care provider is there for every stage of life. Find a provider today at osfhealthcare.org/primary.
As America prepares to celebrate 250 years of freedom, there's never been a better time to show your pride. The Flag Keeper provides everything you need to display your flag with honor, from American state and U.S. Armed Service flags to flagpoles, accessories, and installation kits for homes and businesses across the Riverbend area. Call 618-467-0020 or visit theflagkeeper.com for your free estimate today. Accidents happen in a heartbeat, but lives change forever. Whether it's a car crash, workplace injury, medical malpractice, or wrongful death, you don't have to face the consequences alone. Keith Short and Associates brings over 33 years of experience and a reputation for fighting fiercely for your rights. For relentless representation that you can trust, call Keith Short and Associates at 618-254-0055 today for a free consultation.
Tomorrow isn't built by dreamers. It's built by doers. Because progress doesn't work unless we do. So at Ameren, we've been hard at work putting energy to work for you. Adding underground cables, installing advanced switches and sensors, storm hardening poles and power lines, making the energy grid stronger today so it can meet your needs tomorrow. Learn about projects in your area at Ameren.com/energyfuture.
At Alton Elite Jiu-Jitsu, we help students of all ages build confidence, discipline, and real-world strength. Join a supportive community that challenges you to grow both on and off the mat. Experience the art of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu with a 7-day free trial at our new location. Call 618-795-2692 or visit altonelite.com to start your journey today. Train hard, serve others, live elite at Alton Elite Jiu-Jitsu.
Do you need to declutter your space? Time to call me, the Queen of Junk. Since 1993, we have grown to be the leader in residential, commercial, and property management junk removal. At Sparks Junk Removal, we are eco-friendly. We recycle, donate, or repurpose items back into our community. Trash is our last resort to the landfill. Plus, with our all-inclusive service, our crews handle everything from labor to lifting and landfill fees. Give us a call or visit our website, sparksjunkremoval.net, to reclaim your space today.
Welcome back, Daily Show. 9/18, little bit of change, 28th day of January, and with the Mayor of Grafton, Mayor Morrow. Great to have you in, sir, and really just a great time to be the Mayor of Grafton and just be a part of the area, too.
Oh, you're absolutely right. 2026 is going to be huge.
Yeah.
And if you look at the 30,000-foot view, I mean, we've got the memorial opening, we've got the ferry opening up, we've got the Rivers and Routes event, Discovery Center coming up the road, the Route 66 event that's taking on the 100-year anniversary. So this area is going to be soaked for tourism. It's going to be fantastic.
Well, and where do you want to start on that? Because you're right. It's so cool too, and not to cut you before we start, but 250, and then you have this memorial coming in, and then also just all the other excitement from the different components of the region for you guys.
Absolutely, the region is booming. Well, just briefly, the ferry's been beaten to death, but it's not literally. But April 10th, grand opening, and I just want to give a shout out to IDOT. I talked to our team up at IDOT, Phil, Rebecca, and April, who have been working working with us and George Andres from our city, and of course the folks in the Calhoun Ferry and on the Missouri side, the Illinois side. This has just been one big team working hard. So we're still not out of the woods. We still got a lot of things done. We got our paperwork signed, got it back into IDOT. So we're looking for the grand opening on the 10th.
That's going to be a big deal.
It's huge for the region, because when you talk to our businesses and the people in Missouri and St. Charles, this is big for them because they can come in. The biggest thing is going to be for the commuters, because people are waiting for that to happen. And we will be open, like I say, 365 days a year. Of course, not when it's ice, but, what can you do?
Well, just incredible. And now, going into that, because I'm sure that leads into so many other opportunities, because with the ferry, I mean, real quick, Raging Rivers I wanted to touch on them because they're doing some really cool
They're number
things.
one on my list. How did you know? Well, Jeremy Hayes out at Raging Rivers, he's the manager out there, and I will tell you that they have been going great guns. This year, 2026, they will be opening 55 to 65 RV camping spots. 50% of those are going to be full hookups with electric, water, and sewer. So just think about it. You want to bring the kids out for the 4th of July weekend, but now you bring your RV camper that's been sitting in your driveway. Now you can actually use it, take it out to Raging Rivers, plug it in, have a great time swimming all day, and then take the kids and everybody out to dinner in Grafton.
100%.
We've got the new restaurants down in the west end of town, which are great. We've got the Fountain Hill, which just opened up.
Sonny's a great guy.
Sonny's a fantastic guy. We're so blessed to have him and his crew down there.
Well, and you just hit on something so cool, because I'm starting to realize how important that campground spots are, and really for a family to have their staycations or their camping weekends, especially the holiday weekends or any summer weekend, to do that, 10, 12 people. That's a lot of business for
It's a lot of business.
The folks.
It is. And so the tourism tax and all the rest of that is going to be great for the city. Down in the west end of town, we've had a big boom. We talked about Sonny's opening up with Fountain Hill. We've also had the Southern Coastal Cuisine.
They're awesome.
I mean, you talk about sitting out on the water in the beautiful sunshine and everything. Not so good refrigerated steak.
Their nachos are out of this world.
Oh, they're wonderful. And I love their cheese curds.
Yeah.
My wife and I just fell for those. But you got that open. We've got the staples down that end, like Drifters, and you got Beasley's Fish. So a lot of things have been going. So what we're doing to help that area is we're putting in a new crosswalk, which is going to be at the Coastal Cuisine, but it will also tie in the parking lot on the other side. And we're going to extend that sidewalk all the way down to Drifters. And so right now we're working with our C.D. Davidsmeyer to get us some grant money on that to help us with that, and so we'll see how that's going to go. And speaking of that, so that takes care of the West End, a lot of good things coming in. In the main part of town, we've got just the staples that are down there. You've got Drifters, you've got the pub, you've got the Third Chute, you get Oyster Bar, and then just wonderful, wonderful connecting piece down there. We put that new crosswalk in there last year, and that's helped for the safety for a lot going in down there. And then in the east end of town, we have some new stores that have opened up there. You've got the Limestone, which is wonderful for mercantile business, and then you've got the Box Mercantile. The Rubel Hotel has upped their game. They've got a breakfast down there that is just fantastic.
I've heard a lot of great stuff.
Well, their favorite one happens to be mine, which comes out as I love the corned beef hash. They got corned beef hash with 2 eggs on top, and then they get their homemade biscuits and gravy, 2 of those on the plate. You don't need to eat the rest of the day.
Well, and they're great people, too, that own the Rubel, too.
Lisa and Tony, fantastic people. And, they've got that coffee shop right there next door. Mike and Jody own the coffee shop, and they open that up down there. And they're always ready for a wonderful coffee and visitors and talking. We also got the Wilson's Leather, which is down there. We've got the Art Gallery. We've got the Grafton Fudge, Pajaritos, and Fancy Nancy.
Yeah.
Now, Nancy Wilson has been an ambassador for the Great River, not the Great Rivers, but the Regional Growth Association, Riverbend, RGBA, and she's been bringing folks into that organization and also working to tout the tourism within the area. So big shout out for Nancy.
That's really, that's what it ties into, too, for you guys, is that you always have folks in the town that are doing more to really shine a spotlight on Grafton as a whole and doing everything they can to not only promote themselves, but with the area. And I
absolutely.
think
and when you talk about that, there's a couple of new things coming in the central part of town. The marina is under new ownership now, and the new owners are getting ready to expand and put a lot of money into the marina.
Wow.
The D dock is being covered. They got an extension on another docks. They've got, if you go down there, you can see in the parking lot a lot of the things that they're working on and so forth to get ready. So we're excited about moving with that. Brad, the oyster bar, is still going to be there. And then the centerpiece is the zip line and the gondola taking the sky ride tour up to the top of Aries, where you got the best view in the Midwest. And then, of course, they got their zip line that's up there and the Alpine coaster.
Which is still good to be ridden on during the colder months,
Winter
too.
time, I think they have a fantastic deal going on. Get up there and ride all you like. And, I've got up there once when Congresswoman Miller was down in town. We took her up there and her husband, and they loved it. And so, it's something fun for the whole family, and it's a good anchor to our spot downtown with the Grafton music in the park.
Well, and you're 100% right. And that's what's been so fun over the years, talking with every different individual that contributes, whether it's with the chamber or with music in the park or the Winter Lights Parade, you name it. We can go down the list of all the great people that are part of Grafton. But what I think is so cool is that you guys are able to have so many unique contributions where you're getting regional, statewide, national recognition from political figures that are coming into town. And, someone might say, well, does that show, CJ, partisanship? No, it doesn't. It shines a spotlight on it, and that leads to hopefully potentially more rewards in terms of funding opportunities or just more ways to continue to grow.
Absolutely. And, and when you talk about growth, just take, for example, you mentioned the Winter Lights Parade. Paula Jameson started that. It was
great.
A couple of years ago, and it was nice getting started, but now it's turned into something where the kids and the families line Water Street down there on both sides with looking for the candy being thrown out and looking at all the different lights and so on. But that's an example, just like SantaCon.
Yeah.
Where they started out with a couple of pictures at the loading dock, and it's turned into something of a thousands of people. It is. To have that happen in the wintertime down here in Grafton. So, and then, of course, with the ice skating that's going on right now at the loading dock and all that, it takes wonderful imagination, but people that are entrepreneurs to get out and do that. And we seem to have a lot of those in Grafton.
Well, and entrepreneurs that aren't selfish.
That's correct.
And that really is hard to come by in any part of, the country or the world, and it's making sure we're contributing to that greater mission. And that's what I tell everyone from Grafton. It's cool to see that from an outside perspective.
Yes. And another one was the Cowboy Weekend event that they had down at the Grafton Pub. That started out with Mary Jo and Ron Cody just saying, hey, we'll do this. And I want to give a shout out to my mayor's assistant, Justin. And he's, just been a mainstay with us at the Grafton City Hall, coming in 2 times a week working with us and down at the visitor center.
Well, it's vitally important, and I think it's so cool to see the transformation from being just maybe a spring or a warm weather environment to being truly an all year round attraction, and that's what's cool.
And that's one of the things, as we talked about the memorial coming online on 6 June 2026 this year, Phase 1. You will see those 12 bronze statues mounted on the cliff. They're coming here to do that first part of May. So that's going to be an interesting piece. And for those of you that want to bid on the project for some of the concrete work and so forth, the final bids are going out next week. So with Tarleton Corporation and starting up soon after that. And while we're on that, I want to give another shout out to IDOT. IDOT has been fantastic for the city and the snow plowing that they did this year on Main Street. And our guys, Jake and his guys down at the Department of Public Works, we didn't receive one complaint.
That's awesome.
But they're still out working and cleaning and so on. But they've done a great job. The city works very well, and IDOT has been a great partner with us. Joe Monroe, who's the IDOT engineer for Section 8 up here, has been fantastic at the memorial site, and then also two ours with the ones on the ferry.
Absolutely. Before we take a quick break, real quick too, I think the other spotlight to shine on just coming together and just touching on hard work and people just being a community is, even something like Spanky Fest, where we had Christina, we were talking about the event and just seeing how much, money that generated for the police department, department, and really just remembering such a a passionate individual that contributed so much too.
I miss him every day.
Yeah.
And it's one of those that he was wonderful for the city, and people loved him, and we love Christine, and the money that is generated from these events goes to the police department, and it helps out because Grafton does great, but we don't have a big multi-million-dollar budget.
Right.
So it's one of those that every little dollar coming in helps, and people that are working in the city to help people.
Well, and that's what makes really what you guys are accomplishing even more impressive too, because you don't have the population sizes of a lot of other towns, so some funding opportunities just aren't there.
That's correct.
We'll take a quick break. 9:30 on the nose. We'll come back with Mayor Morrow. State of Grafton 2026 looks pretty darn bright. We'll one more after this.
It does.
Do you need to declutter your space? Time to call me, the Queen of Junk. Since 1993, we have grown to be the leader in residential, commercial, and property management junk removal. At Sparks Junk Removal, we are eco-friendly. We recycle, donate, or repurpose items back into our community. Trash is our last resort to the landfill. Plus, with our all-inclusive service, our crews handle everything from labor to lifting and landfill fees. Give us a call or visit our website, sparksjunkremoval.net, to reclaim your space today.
At Alton Elite Jiu-Jitsu, we help students of all ages build confidence, discipline, and real-world strength. Join a supportive community that challenges you to grow both on and off the mat. Experience the art of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu with a 7-day free trial at our new location. Call 618-795-2692 or visit altonelite.com to start your journey today. Train hard, serve others, live elite at Alton Elite Jiu-Jitsu.
Tomorrow isn't built by dreamers. It's built by doers. Because progress doesn't work unless we do. So at Ameren, we've been hard at work putting energy to work for you. Adding underground cables, installing advanced switches and sensors, storm hardening poles and power lines, making the energy grid stronger today so it can meet your needs tomorrow. Learn about projects in your area at Ameren.com/energyfuture.
Accidents happen in a heartbeat, but lives change forever. Whether it's a car crash, workplace injury, medical malpractice, or wrongful death, you don't have to face the consequences alone. Keith Short and Associates brings over 33 years of experience and a reputation for fighting fiercely for your rights. For relentless representation that you can trust, call Keith Short and Associates at 618-254-0055 today for a free consultation. Welcome back. 9:32, a little bit of change. Mayor Morrow back in the studio. State of Grafton 2026. And, we were talking, you mentioned during the break, we'd be remiss not to mention Bike Week and just the success that is.
Corey Wemelt, hard-working guy down there. And if you remember last year, we had the Bike Week come into town.
Yeah.
There was a lot of concern. He came before the council, promised there wouldn't be any problems and so forth. And I want to give a shout out to our Jersey County Sheriff, Nick Manns, and his crew, his deputies, the county people, and our police department with Dave Womack, Chief, Mike Angel, Sergeant, and the guys. We walked through the entire area the last time, and proud to report there were 0 incidents.
It's incredible.
From that. Yeah, I mean, with all the people they had in town, and they did a lot of self-policing and so forth and so on, and we're doing a lot more work with Corey and his team up front this year to have the event coming in again in May. So we're excited about that. There'll be a lot of folks rolling through town, as we said before, springtime. It's going to be very, very huge in the month of May.
Absolutely. Well, and then don't forget October with Witches on the Water, too. I forgot about
those
that.
Guys
one.
are, yeah, those guys,
incredible.
You can't forget about the Witches because they were the first group to donate money to the National Memorial.
Really?
And they do that every single year. All their proceeds from that event go to the National Memorial. And to date, they've donated over $60,000.
That's incredible.
It is incredible.
Well, and see, that's got to be really unique to be in this position where you are to, spearhead this project and really help bring this to light, but also seeing that private funding and the private side of this come in too, and seeing the local support from organizations like that, and really just, it's got to be cool, Mayor, to have that.
It is very heartwarming to know that there are people, and it's for the veterans.
Yeah.
And, I don't care if you're Republican, Democrat, Independent. I tell all these guys when they argue, I says, it's for the veterans. We can all get together. We can all decide that we can all get along to support our veterans.
Well, and there's not a monument like this around, correct?
This is going to be the only one like it in the world.
That's incredible.
When we interviewed our foundry, which is out in North Carolina, and we talked with Ed Walker and his wife Melissa, they said North Carolina bronze. They finally said, well, are we going to be your foundry? And I said on the phone, yes, you are. We like your pricing. We like everything about it. And they said, well, good, because we did our research, and there is no other project like this in the world. Wow. And we want in. And so they've been in. They've given us a year of their floor time. We've had our documentary crew, which is Tom Bell and Bell Productions, going out to North Carolina twice now and viewing. And the next video that we're going to have coming up is going to be actual foundry process of how the statues are being made and so forth. Wow. And I would tell you, go out to the visitor center and look at the one statue that we have on site, or look at the ones we online, and people always comment about the level of just authenticity, the artist work. Well, that's because Ed is an artist.
Yeah.
And Melissa runs the place. So between the two of them, I mean, they get
team.
everything done. And they've hired 4 new artisans out there that these ladies are working full-time on the project. And they've got another company that does 3D printing now up in Michigan, also out in Portland, Oregon. So everything is coming on track. They had 6 of them ready to go out there, and they're storing out there and in the process. So we're on track with that, and we're looking forward to seeing them come out in May to mount the statues.
It was really cool too to see the local tie-in with how they were the cast, how the statues were made too, because you had
2nd Ranger Battalion.
That's so
I'll
cool.
tell you, and John Petrozinski and his crew out there. Of course, John is the secretary, but they reenact Pointe du Hoc. They have all the World War II gear. They got the cables. They got the ropes, the ladders, and they've been working with us since the beginning. And what we did was back in in D-Day of 2024, they came out with all their gear. We had the foundry folks come out from North Carolina, and we digitally scanned these young people, young guys. They said, oh, Mayor, you get in there. I said, no, we didn't have these old guys climbing the cliff. It was all these young kids. So, they went ahead and scanned them in uniform, and they've taken those models then. Wow. They take them out with that digital footprint. They send the digital footprint out to Portland and up to Michigan, and those places 3D print sections that come back to North Carolina where they're welded together, they're processed, filled with copper. They do the process, and then they go ahead, and it's just beautiful the way it comes out. So the next video will be on the website for that once Tom gets that done, but he's a pretty busy guy.
Well, also the museum is doing some really cool stuff too. The History Museum.
Yes,
in Grafton.
It is. Grafton History Museum has got a lot of new displays online. We've got the eagle watching events that are coming up this fall. We had one here just a couple of weeks ago before the snow, and it was sold out. So I say sold out. They're a free event. You come in to take a look. There's standing room only.
It's incredible. Well, I just think it's really going to be such a great year, and something just to kind of put mental notes on the calendar for us, because every month there is something going on in Grafton.
Every single month. And we have, there's the Chamber of Commerce. They put out a little newsletter with all the events that come into town. And, of course, I publish a mayor's newsletter that's more on the strategic end of things that, not so much telling what's happening in the cities, but talking about the events for the city, such as cleanup day and such as our projects and so forth, and the police department and so on.
Absolutely. And Mayor, before I let you go, what are you excited for the most this year? I think that would be the final question. Is it the memorial? Is it the overall package? Well, what's getting you excited for 2026?
Well, actually, the memorial is and the ferry is those two large items there because they were campaign promises. But the ferry opening April 10th, and then the memorial on June 6th. And I'll tell you what I've done is that, the memorial that evening is going to be starting at 5 o'clock at the loading dock, will be transformed into a big dinner event with a dance floor, and we're going to have a 1940s theme. We've got a 40s singer coming in for the dinner event to sing. We've also got a orchestra coming in from St. Louis, which is a 40s swing band for the music that night. And my wife and Lisa and from the Rubel and so forth, they're all working together with the ladies in Grafton to decorate and get it all set up. And I even pulled out my dress mess uniform from when I was in, how long ago was that? And it fits. So I'm gonna be wearing that evening. We'll have a lot of military folks there that evening in dress mess and so forth. But you can come any way you want. It's going to be more like in the old military style of military ball and so forth. We'll have a few events, and hopefully we'll have a good guest speaker to do a good speech.
That'll be really cool, Mayor. Thank you so much for your time always, and always a pleasure talking to you.
CJ, thank you so much, and stay warm.
Always, we'll try. I only weigh 140 pounds, so it's pretty tough right now. 9:40 on the nose. We'll come back, Daily Show, and wrap up the 9 o'clock hour on a Wednesday after this.
Struggling with depression that just won't go away? At Precision TMS, we offer a non-invasive, drug-free treatment designed to target the areas of the brain linked to mood regulation. Using FDA-cleared transcranial magnetic stimulation, gentle magnetic pulses help reactivate underperforming brain circuits without surgery or sedation. Many patients experience real relief, even after other treatments haven't worked. Our experienced team provides personalized care every step of the way. Contact Precision TMS today to see if TMS therapy is right for you.
Throughout all life stages, you need someone in your corner, guiding you on your health and wellness journey. At OSF Healthcare, that's your primary care provider. Your OSF primary care provider is there for every stage of life. Find a provider today at osfhealthcare.org/primary.
As America prepares to celebrate 250 years of freedom, there's never been a better time to show your pride. The Flag Keeper provides everything you need to display your flag with honor, from American state and U.S. Armed Service flags to flagpoles, accessories, and installation kits for homes and businesses across the Riverbend area. Call 618-467-0020 or visit theflagkeeper.com for your free estimate today.
Accidents happen in a heartbeat, but lives change forever. Whether it's a car crash, workplace injury, medical malpractice, or wrongful death, you don't have to face the consequences alone. Keith Short and Associates brings over 33 years of experience and a reputation for fighting fiercely for your rights. For relentless representation that you can trust, call Keith Short and Associates at 618-254-0055 today for a free consultation.
Tomorrow isn't built by dreamers. It's built by doers. Because progress doesn't work unless we do. So at Ameren, we've been hard at work putting energy to work for you. Adding underground cables, installing advanced switches and sensors, storm hardening poles and power lines, making the energy grid stronger today so it can meet your needs tomorrow. Learn about projects in your area at Ameren.com/energyfuture.
At Alton.
Welcome back. Daily Show, hitting you on this 23rd day of January as we are awaiting that winter storm that's getting ready to overtake Alton and the Midwest. And as we're getting ready to stay at home for a couple of days, we're always gearing up for the primary. And coming up in March, we'll be getting ready to give you full coverage. Raja Krishnamurthy is a congressman for Illinois, and it's a pleasure to have him on the show today. Raja, thank you so much for your time, and really excited to talk with you about this run for U.S. Senate.
Hey, absolutely, CJ. Thanks for talking to me.
Well, and as we dive into this, your background as a congressman, take me through just the lead up to this point and the decision to run.
Well, I think I've mentioned this before, but I think that the reason for my run is really my origin story. I've mentioned this, but, I was born in India, came to this country when I was 3 months old. Things were going good until they suddenly went bad in the recession of the 1970s. My father lost his income, but thanks to the generosity of the American people, we were allowed to move into public housing and food stamps. Then my father got on his feet and got a great job in, of all places, Peoria, Illinois, and moved to Peoria, moved into the middle class. And pretty much every night at the dinner table, my father would say something like, think of the greatness of this country, and whatever you do, make sure it's there for the next family who need it. And so that became the North Star of my personal compass, my mission statement, and my why. And I've been pursuing that in Congress for the last 10 years. And now when the opportunity presented itself upon Dick Durbin's retirement, I decided to seek a promotion and pursue that mission statement at a higher level and hopefully with even greater and wider impact.
Well, and going into just the shoes to fill, really, for Dick Durbin, who had such a legacy, really, in the state of Illinois and throughout national politics, take me through just, if everything aligns, the stars align, and you're elected congressman in November, the primary goes well, what would you take away from the tenure of a Dick Durbin, and how would you, transition into that role?
Well, first of all, Dick Durbin's a legend for his constituent services and just looking out for every part of the state, regardless of where you live. And as a son of downstate myself, that's incredibly important to me as well. And I would continue to do everything I can to continue that legacy. Secondly, from a policy standpoint, we are in very similar positions with regard to a number of issues. For instance, with regard to Dreamers, which Dick Durbin has really pioneered the legislation on, I would want to do everything I can to help Dreamers, but also fix our legal immigration system. But, beyond that, I think that one slight difference, or maybe slight difference of emphasis, is, I authored our nation's laws modernizing our nation's skills-based career, technical, and vocational education systems, which help the 62% of Americans without a four-year college degree, while people with a four-year college experience might have a world-class experience. I don't think that the rest, the non-four-year college track folks, have a similar experience, and we have to change that. My law was wildly successful, helping 11 million people get a higher quality skills-based education, but it's been terribly underfunded. And so that would be a big focus for me. I guess the last thing that I would mention is I told you that as a child, as an infant, we faced food insecurity, and thanks to food stamps, now known as SNAP, we were allowed to kind of survive and live to fight another day. That is an issue of great importance to me. Our national school lunch program right now helps 30 million children get a free lunch every day, but there's maybe 10 million who don't get it who are qualified. I'd like to have a universal free lunch program so that every child has at least one strong square meal every day, and that increases attendance. A universal free lunch program reduces stigma, and most importantly, it increases their ability to learn. And that's very important to me, to invest in our future and our future, our children.
Absolutely. And, I'm sure over the last, couple of months and the last couple of years and throughout your career, you've met so many families and you've gotten to meet so many different individuals that come from all different walks of life. Right now, Congressman, what are you hearing the most of? What is the most important issue, in your opinion, just based on the conversations you've been having with constituents, that's affecting them the most?
Two things. One, just the affordability of everything. It's just they can't afford the staples of what I call the American dream. And probably the best example of that is not being able to afford a home. And so there I've introduced legislation to provide a $25,000 tax credit phased in over 5 years to help first-time home buyers pay for their upfront costs, which really kind of get in the way of them owning a home. And this really affects young people more than anything else. I should say that $25,000 tax credit or upwards of 10% of the value of a home would essentially help everybody, but I would also create a special situation where we could reward it all in the first year for teachers, childcare workers, as well as first responders. These are folks who we want to help, especially because they have jobs that require them to oftentimes live close to where they work. And they can't, you can't call in, you can't do a remote work day as a police officer.
Right.
So, we gotta help them even more. And so this is one of those pieces of legislation I'm hoping to move as well.
Well, and really, that's a huge piece of legislation, especially for those first responders and those folks that qualify for that first year. And going into that a little bit further, to me, that seems like just a nonpartisan issue. And when in a world right now where everything's it just seems so combustible, and the vitriol is there, and you have just the rhetoric that's there. How important is it to still fight for the issues that you believe in, and also, still reach across the aisle and represent all voices within your state?
I'm really glad you brought that up. I think that yes, we need to demand accountability from the Trump administration. I actually have I call a 17-point plan to kind of bring accountability to the Trump administration on a principled basis, whether it's accountability for ICE, which I believe is acting with impunity, or, reining in the pardon power, which I believe is now a new form of corruption, or has introduced a new form of corruption at the White House. And we have to do those things. But at the same time, where there's an opportunity to work with people across the aisle, we have to do that as well. And I'm known for that in Washington, D.C. I talked about the skills-based education effort, but another effort that I led that was a bipartisan one that led to a law was providing mental health resources for healthcare professionals, so nurses, medical students, doctors who have long suffered much higher degrees of burnout than other professions, and that came to a head during the pandemic. And so that was a bipartisan effort. I've also led initiatives with Republicans with regard to, strengthening our nation's national security from my perch on the Intelligence Committee, as well as I was the ranking member of the what's kind of colloquially known as the China Committee in Congress.
Well, and Congressman, that's what I was interested to kind of wrap this conversation up with, if it's okay, because your background is there. And as we're going into primary season, I think the thing that's on my mind and a lot of voters' minds too is when we hear the word, redistricting, and I'm not talking necessarily with your race, but, when it comes to primary season and redistricting, is there ever a worry that it becomes a point where we're fighting harder to get out of a primary than it is to, compete in a general election in a specific district? Is that ever a concern? And I'm not saying that as a partisan question, but really just an overall question in the terms of balance. And just curious on your thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, I think that as gerrymandering and the drawing of districts has become ever more polarized, essentially what has happened is that in many cases, especially for, congressional seats, the main contest is the primary as opposed to the general election. And so what that ends up doing is I think people start to race ever more to the extremes in order to, curry favor with their base. And you see this especially, in the MAGA far right, where this is happening to the point where, I think they are actually actively cultivating, certain white nationalist or extremist groups. I'm writing a letter today. I can't believe I'm doing this, to the Department of Labor, talking about how they are actually echoing white nationalist sentiment in their social media posts, and anti-Semitic posts. I mean, this is the stuff that I didn't think I'd be writing a letter on 10 years into my tenure in Congress, and yet that's happening. And I think that's a function of what you were talking about originally, which is, basically people kind of playing to the extremes, and that's, I think, a dangerous course.
Is there something that has been just front of mind that you're ready to tackle day one that you look forward to the most if everything aligns?
Well, after I find out where the restrooms are, I will then take up the issue of, trying to figure out, how best I can take a leadership position on these issues and be effective. A long time ago, in Washington, D.C., I decided there's the main question you have to answer is, do you want to be viral or do you want to be effective? And the closest thing I've been to being viral is I had COVID a few years ago. And so I decided I'd be effective. And what that means to me is, as I said before, taking a principled stand on the issues, holding government accountable, but also, seeing where there's room for, working with people on the other side. So I would hope to listen to my colleagues, tell them where my priorities are, and then find common ground. Fortunately, I've had a chance to work with some of them from the House, with them in the Senate, and hopefully I can build some more ties and actually get things done. I think at the end of the day, that's what people want. They want results. They want less talk. They want more results.
Absolutely. Congressman, thank you so much for your time. And as the months start to creep up on us and we get closer and closer to the day, we'd love to have you back here on the show as we start tackling more important issues. And really just great to get to know you and your platform today.
Yes, sir. Thank you, CJ.
Thank you. We'll take a quick break. Daily Show on this 23rd day of January continues right after this in the heart of the 6th
Struggling with depression that just won't go away? At Precision TMS, we offer a non-invasive, drug-free treatment designed to target the areas of the brain linked to mood regulation. Using FDA-cleared transcranial magnetic stimulation, gentle magnetic pulses help reactivate underperforming brain circuits without surgery or sedation. Many patients experience real relief, even after other treatments haven't worked. Our experienced team provides personalized care every step of the way. Contact Precision TMS today to see if TMS therapy is right for you.
Accidents happen in a heartbeat, but lives change forever. Whether it's a car crash, workplace injury, medical malpractice, or wrongful death, you don't have to face the consequences alone. Keith Short and Associates brings over 33 years of experience and a reputation for fighting fiercely for your rights. For relentless representation that you can trust, call Keith Short and Associates at 618-254-0055 today for a free consultation.
Do you need to declutter your space? Time to call me, the Queen of Junk. Since 1993, we have grown to be the leader in residential, commercial, and property management junk removal. At Sparks Junk Removal, we are eco-friendly. We recycle, donate, or repurpose items back into our community. Trash is our last resort to the landfill. Plus, with our all-inclusive service, our crews handle everything from labor to lifting and landfill fees. Give us a call or visit our website, sparksjunkremoval.net, to reclaim your space today.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible, covering auto, home, business, and life insurance. Our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
What's up? It's Mike Keith. What's up, bro? Good, my guy. Back to spotlight other amazing alumni and how they discovered their path at Lewis and Clark. Let's jump into it. This is Dwight Wirtz, president of Wirtz Welding and Tank Service, the nation's premier distributor of tank trailer parts. Dwight has been an outspoken and long-time supporter of the college and is the current chairperson of Lewis and Clark Board of Trustees. Oh, and he's a Lewis and Clark grad.
I'm Dwight Wirtz, and I am a trailblazer.
Throughout all life stages, you need someone in your corner, guiding you on your health and wellness journey. At OSF Healthcare, that's your primary care provider. Your OSF primary care provider is there for every stage of life. Find a provider today at osfhealthcare.org/primary.
Ah, 10 o'clock, downtown Alton on this 28th day of January. Thanks for hanging out with me. CJ Nasello, it's our daily show, RiverBender.com, Roku TV, Apple Podcast, Spotify, wherever you watch the show. Thanks for hanging out. 10 o'clock hour full of Hayner Library. Going to be talking to Lacy McDonald in a couple of minutes for 100 years ago, and then Mary Cordes joins us for a rescheduled version of Beyond the Shelves, where we get all the latest details from Hayner Library and all that good stuff. But in the meantime, here's what we're following this 10 o'clock hour on RiverBender.com. Follow along with us by downloading the RiverBender.com app today, or by joining myself and well over 90,000 with Around the Riverbend, that daily email update. We'll take you right to Edwardsville first. At the Madison County Courthouse, Austin L. Mullins, 22 of Alton, pled guilty to first-degree murder in the fatal shooting of Jake Wall, 23 of Wood River. Here's what we know on the incident. The shooting took place on July the 24th, 2023, during a party in Wood River. Mullins admitted to fatally shooting Wall and entered his plea before Judge Kyle Knapp in Madison County Circuit Court on January the 27th. Prosecutors agreed to sentencing cap of 40 years, which they plan to pursue at Mullins' sentencing hearing. The case was prosecuted by assistant state's attorneys Morgan Hudson and Lauren Miracle, with support from Wood River Police and other agencies. The sentencing date has yet to be scheduled at this time. Also in the news today, Walk Lake in Jerseyville set for significant changes as the city prepares to remove a narrow horseshoe landmass that has become unsafe and eroded over the years. The Jersey City Council unanimously approved the bid award for dredging and earthwork improvements on January the 20th. The landmass, originally created to provide extra fishing space, is now a safety hazard and difficult to maintain. Woodman Construction won the project with a bid of $56,641.35. Work scheduled to begin in February to enhance visitor safety and preserve the lake's environment. Also in the news today, Congresswoman Nikki Budzinski recently presented Glen Carbon with a $1.1 million federal funding to build a new water treatment facility capable of processing 3 million gallons daily. Currently reliant on Illinois water, the village aims to take control over water production, maintenance, and rates to support its residential and commercial growth. Glen Carbon's mayor, Bob Marcus, emphasized the investment as crucial for the village's future, with design work complete and bids opening in February. Budzinski highlighted affordability benefits and noted that funding is part of a larger federal appropriations bill, which is pending Senate approval. The investment marks a major milestone for that Glen Carbon community. Also, In the news today, this is a story that we were talking about yesterday on the show. We have an update for you now from Dalton Brown. Alton officials are changing their plans to shorten public comments at future city meetings. Here's what we know. Committee of the Whole members voted unanimously on Tuesday night to postpone a resolution which included sweeping city code changes regarding public comments at committee and city council meetings. The resolution originally called for all public comment time limits to be shortened from 5 minutes to 3 minutes per person, and shortened even further to 2 minutes per person when more than 10 people sign up to speak at the same meeting. At Tuesday's meeting, Alderman Chris Bone made several amendments to the resolution. Instead of automatically shortening each person's speaking time, he proposed leaving the 5-minute time limit in place unless more than 10 people have signed up to speak, in which case all speakers would be equally limited to 3 minutes each. Alderwoman Pfister expressed support for the newly amended time limit rules, adding that when more than 10 people to sign up for a topic or sign up to speak at a given meeting, several of them are usually addressing the same topic. My apologies. In addition to imposing the new time limits, the resolution also originally called for further regulations on comments and behaviors. All remarks were to be, quote, addressed to the council as a whole, end quote, and speakers would be ordered to refrain from certain behaviors, including disorderly speech or action, name-calling or personal attacks, obscene or indecent remarks, and derogatory comments on personalities. The original resolution also prohibited speakers from promoting or advertising products or services, promoting, quote, any contest or lottery, or promoting candidates for public office on or upcoming ballot measures. Alderman Veloff voiced concerns about the resolution limiting individuals' rights to free speech, repeatedly calling certain language in the resolution, quote, unconstitutional, end quote. He emphasized that people have the right to criticize city officials, even individually, adding that, in his opinion, the council should welcome the promotion of new business as they open in the city. Bone then proposed removing the sections regulating behaviors and speech topics from the resolution, leaving only the newly amended time limit and a rule preventing speakers from donating their time to others in place. These changes were so significant, committee members agreed they prompted the need for an entirely new resolution to be drafted. They also unanimously approved postponing the original resolution indefinitely before the new resolution is introduced at a future meeting. So it looks like a complete rewrite of that resolution. We'll keep you updated through Dalton Brown's coverage of the Committee of the Whole meeting and City Council meetings at RiverBender.com/news. Let's take a look at weather. 21 degrees in downtown Alton. It feels like 19 out there. Today, partly sunny and chilly, and tonight partly cloudy and bitterly cold. Temperatures reach 31 degrees today, drop down to 6 overnight as we head into Thursday. On Thursday, a 45% chance that we'll see some afternoon snow. It won't be much, but it could be significant in spots when you're driving if it does hit, so be careful out there tomorrow afternoon. A high of 23, a low of 4 degrees. On Friday, a high of 16, a low of 1, and then on Saturday, a high of 18, a low of 3 degrees. On Sunday, we will see intermittent snow and flurries in the afternoon, and then Sunday night, that chance of snow continues with flurries. Highs of 27 degrees on Sunday, a low of 16. The overnight warming locations, will be activated the next 5 days. If you need heat or if you need to donate or want to donate supplies to help out their mission, you can do so online. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back with Lacy McDonald, taking us back 100 years ago, right after this on RiverBender.com and Roku TV. Man, good birthday show so far. A lot of good energy, you know? Thanks for all the messages, too. It's feeling good.
you need to declutter your space? Time to call me, the Queen of Junk. Since 1993, we have grown to be the leader in residential, commercial, and property management junk removal. At Sparks Junk Removal, we are eco-friendly. We recycle, donate, or repurpose items back into our community. Trash is our last resort to the landfill. Plus, with our all-inclusive service, our crews handle everything from labor to lifting and landfill fees. Give us a call or visit our website, sparksjunkremoval.net, to reclaim your space today.
At Alton Elite Jiu-Jitsu, we help students of all ages build confidence, discipline, and real-world strength. Join a supportive community that challenges you to grow both on and off the mat. Experience the art of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu with a 7-day free trial at our new location. Call 618-795-2692 or visit altonelite.com to start your journey today. Train hard, serve others, live elite at Alton Elite Jiu-Jitsu.
Tomorrow isn't built by dreamers. It's built by doers. Because progress doesn't work unless we do. So at Ameren, we've been hard at work putting energy to work for you. Adding underground cables, installing advanced switches and sensors, storm hardening poles and power lines, making the energy grid stronger today so it can meet your needs tomorrow. Learn about projects in your area at Ameren.com/energyfuture.
Accidents happen in a heartbeat, but lives change forever. Whether it's a car crash, workplace injury, medical malpractice, or wrongful death, you don't have to face the consequences alone. Keith Short and Associates brings over 33 years of experience and a reputation for fighting fiercely for your rights. For relentless representation that you can trust, call Keith Short and Associates at 618-254-0055 today for a free consultation. You couldn't hear that. I mean, you could. Technically, you could. There's nothing illegal about what I said. It was an experience that happened to me, but I just don't find it. I don't deem it appropriate for the show.
Now everyone's like, what are they talking about?
You got to find out. You can give me some money. I'll tell. I mean, if someone pays me, hell, I'll tell. I don't give a damn. Lacy!
Yes, I'm fine. How are you, CJ?
Fair to mid one.
Fair to mid.
It's for having a Wednesday birthday, it's kind of like,
Yeah. Did you already tell everyone it's your birthday?
I didn't. Honestly, I can say something, and it sounds so bad. I didn't have to. I did it. Everyone did a great job of reminding me it was my birthday. It was very nice today. I felt a lot of love.
Good.
And
Good.
like last year, I had to put like CJ's birthday show or whatever. Now I'm just like, now I'm like, this is nice. I woke up and just had the nicest post about me, and it really is nice to feel that.
I knew it because Jackie posted about you, and it was super sweet.
I thought so. I totally gets a sticker on the chart. I have negative stickers.
Negative stickers.
You ever see that SpongeBob episode?
No.
Whenever they're being the good noodle?
No.
Oh, man, that was a great episode.
No.
SpongeBob and Patrick fought because he went from good noodle to bad egg.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And then the egg hatched. That was a whole problem. What did we do 100 years ago?
Okay.
We're talking about food, but it's ice cream.
We are talking about ice cream. This article was about ice cream. And then it was about tuberculosis. So sometimes you don't know what the article's going to end up being about when you start writing it.
I don't even want to see. Every time I make a joke, I always feel bad right away.
Ooh.
So I mean, is it flavored? Like, what's the ice cream flavor?
Oh, see, I don't know what the ice cream flavor is.
Because the last time we talked about flavors, it was like football. And,
yeah. No, that was like a fun ice cream article. This one was fun at the beginning, and then it wasn't not fun. It was just, it went in a different direction than I expected.
Like wrong rabbit hole.
Yeah. But like the only rabbit hole I could go through, really, because this was about an ice cream meeting was the preliminary title for this. So there was
oh, that's right. You did tell me we were talking about. Okay, that's right. See, my memory's hazy, but it's coming back.
So I really thought it was going to be about ice cream because there was a convention of the members of the Illinois Ice Cream Manufacturers Association, and they were meeting at the Rose Room of the Mineral Springs Hotel. So I read this. This was the article that George sent me initially. Just it talked about how there was going to be an ice cream meeting. And I was like, cool, ice cream meeting. This is going to be great. And then I was talking to my friend Lauren, who's a cataloger. And
a great
cataloger. And I was telling her about old ice cream ads that I've loved. This is one that's in the article. This is one from 1920 that I used in a display for Walnut Grove Dairy a couple years ago. And I love it because it's very aggressive. It says, get this thought, ice cream is a food. And then it's basically like, every day is not too often to serve peerless ice cream. It's a food. And then Lauren pointed out that it also says...
That's it. This I'm showing it on the screen.
Oh, you're showing it? Okay, good.
I mean, this is about as Great Gatsby-esque of a day.
It also says Lauren pointed this out. There's a peerless dealer near you. It's not even like a seller. It's like your ice cream dealer.
Guy's walking around with a trench coat with just a bunch of pints of friggin' Edie's.
Right. So I was telling Lauren about this.
They call him Pint Bag Larry.
Oh, God.
That is brilliant marketing.
It's great.
Sorry.
No.
Brilliant.
So I was telling Lauren about this, and she loves ice cream. So I said, do you want me to dedicate this article to you? I want to dedicate it to you. And she was like, yeah, sure, that's great. And then I showed up about an hour later and said, Lauren, it's about tuberculosis. Do you still want me to dedicate it to you? And she was like, sure.
Oh, my God. So what happened with tuberculosis? What was the tie-in here?
What
was the tie-in here to tuberculosis?
The tie-in was that when I actually read about the meeting, it says that they like talked about secrets of the trade or something. Like it didn't say what they were talking about in the meeting, except that the manufacturers spoke unanimously in favor of state legislation compelling tuberculin tests of milk and expressed themselves in favor of a general agreement not to purchase any milk from producers unless it was subjected to tuberculin tests. So the only information about this meeting was that they were talking about bovine tuberculosis and trying to prevent it from being in the ice cream that they were producing.
Because kidding.
Yeah, a huge problem. By then, there was a lot more pasteurization and more testing, obviously. So it wasn't as big of an issue as it had been before. But so bovine tuberculosis is different than like what you think of as sort of human tuberculosis, but people can still get it.
What does it cause the same effect?
Do
you know?
I don't remember. I looked this up, but I think it's similar symptoms. It's just a slightly different actual thing. But pasteurization destroys the organisms, but it's still an issue. If people drink raw milk or unpasteurized dairy products, you can still have the bovine tuberculosis in there. And it's especially an issue for like infants. So in the past, a lot of babies died from milk that had not been pasteurized. So I had some information from the CDC about bovine tuberculosis and why it's not an issue now. And the CDC said, thanks to over a century of disease control in cattle, which is what they were talking about in this article, and routine pasteurization of cow's milk, this is much less common.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Man. Well, so my thing is, did you like die of bovine TB still?
Some people did. It was usually, like I said, like a lot of infants. died from it.
Gotcha. Okay. Man, that's even worse.
It's even, I know.
I'm sorry, I
if you
wasn't
don't have
thinking for a second.
No,
That's even worse.
If you don't have an immune system, then it's hard to fight things. But, and there were adults and older people that died too.
Did they know it was because they got it from a like? Did people know about? I guess they knew about bovine TB because they
because they test for it.
Oh man, the guilt of a parent if that's oh my god, I got milk from the wrong guy. Not being mean, but funny about it.
By this time, you were usually getting milk from. Walnut Grove Dairy by this time was pasteurizing everything.
Gotcha.
So essentially the milk, the ice cream manufacturers were saying, we are only going to buy milk from milk producers who are doing tuberculin testing on their cows.
Gotcha.
So it was an industry-wide sort of thing. And they wanted the state to have legislation for tuberculin testing.
Yeah.
So that it wasn't just on the manufacturers themselves to try to figure out.
To put two and two together.
Yeah. That
this
it was
a
state law so that they didn't have to individually test every manufacturer.
Yeah.
Or every milk producer to make sure it was safe.
Wow.
So they had to figure this out before they could do the fun flavors.
Well, I'm glad they did.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So I guess it wasn't a problem. Was milk already required to do?
You know what? That's a good question. I don't know if it was required. I know a lot of dairies were already doing it.
Okay.
And a lot of dairies were already pasteurizing.
So it was becoming standard
practice. Becoming standard
Gotcha.
practice. But you know what? I found a study that...
This is so interesting.
Yeah.
Who would have thought this? Because I'm not going to lie, I thought this was another kind of fun one.
It was supposed to be.
Yeah, not anymore.
You never know. It was like mid 1800s. I don't remember the exact date, but mid 1800s to 1925. Mm-hmm. And this was a scientific article. It had nothing to do with the Telegraph. It was in a scientific journal about pasteurization, bovine tuberculosis, all of these things and the dangers. And so I think right around 1925, 1926, they had kind of started to figure out, here are the things that are working. Because I want to say Walnut Grove Dairy started pasteurizing around 1915. So it was new enough. I mean, it was consistent enough with some places that, it was safe, but they were still within the first decade of really doing a lot of this. And so it probably wasn't yet consistent across the board. You really had to check with the individual dairy to see what their practices were.
What do you think that's going to be what food is that going to be for our generation? Where you know what I'm saying? Where we find out we need to do like a different technique to keep things safe, or not necessarily with tuberculosis and milk on the same scale, but it always, because we're talking about like the red dyes right now in the world. I feel like that's so known now.
Yes.
That it's good. But what is it going to be besides that? Is it going to be the whole damn kitchen sink when it comes to what we've been getting at this? I don't know. It just makes you wonder because.
Well, I can tell you part of it. I think it's that more people think that raw milk or unpasteurized dairy is okay because they didn't live through a time when people were dying of bovine tuberculosis. Yeah. So I think it's also important to not go back to things that we already solved.
Yeah. Or if you do it, just make sure you do it the right way, I guess.
What's the right way though?
I don't know. I mean, I know people that drink raw milk, they have no problem with it. I just won't do it. It's not for me. And that's just the way I leave it at it, to each their own. But like, is it going to be, is it going to be milk because they already have is it going to be like, the way that they made bread's been wrong for all these years, like no more white bread, because it's bleached. Like that's what I find fat. If it's not milk.
But see, that's a difference between health and safety.
Right.
Like white bread maybe isn't healthy,
but it's not causing TB. It could cause cancer, but it's not giving you a disease.
Unpasteurized milk was a safety issue.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So I think obviously some people consume raw and unpasteurized dairy and are fine, but there's a risk. And so it's like understanding that there's a risk even today.
People that I see man, I'm sorry, but if I see you post a picture of yourself eating just like a very unthought out piece of meat and like the raw meat thing, I get it. Like, hey, I'm all for trying things to make you feel good, and it's not for me.
What kind of raw meat?
Have you seen this where people are eating raw hamburger meat?
Ooh.
Like, number one, that can't taste good. Like, and then, you know, like the raw steak, that, like, hey, you know, you to each your own. It's just not, it's not in my wheelhouse.
Okay. I mean, I eat steak very rarely, but when I do like a rare steak.
But it's still got to be. But it's got to be on the grill.
Prepared with food safety in mind.
Exactly. You know, I did a food safety segment for a long time, and I still have my food manager's card for another 2 years. Nice. So I'm very big on food safety. That's why when I see those things, like the same thing with, I'm like, okay, well, you know, it makes you feel good.
Yes, like you have to figure out what kind of risk.
Yeah, if it's for you,
is for you. And so maybe if you're someone that consumes unpasteurized dairy, as an adult, your body can maybe take it, but you absolutely would not want to give that to
your child.
A child.
Yeah.
Yes, that kind of thing. But I mean, and at the time, they really were trying to make it consistent because people were getting sick.
Well, and too, I think you needed it to be because it was such I feel like news traveled so slow, and like I feel like those like overhauls were needed because, you know, it would have taken 10 times as long for the telephone game back then to really hammer home that you could not do X, Y, and Z for your food options.
Well, it wasn't even just that. People were putting stuff in bad milk to make it look good, like chalk. Like people were putting stuff in milk to make it look like milk that was okay to drink. So they even had to make laws about not adding things to milk that were not edible.
That's interesting, Lacy. How far we've come. How far we have come. We'll take a quick break at 10:25. Come back, chat it up with Lacy some more. Hayner Library Hour. Mary Cordes joins us at 10:35 today. And we'll talk about the events you guys coming up too. So take a quick break. We'll come back. More next.
Struggling with depression that just won't go away? At Precision TMS, we offer a non-invasive, drug-free treatment designed to target the areas of the brain linked to mood regulation. Using FDA-cleared transcranial magnetic stimulation, gentle magnetic pulses help reactivate underperforming brain circuits without surgery or sedation. Many patients experience real relief, even after other treatments haven't worked. Our experienced team provides personalized care every step of the way. Contact Precision TMS today to see if TMS therapy is right for you.
Accidents happen in a heartbeat, but lives change forever. Whether it's a car crash, workplace injury, medical malpractice, or wrongful death, you don't have to face the consequences alone. Keith Short and Associates brings over 33 years of experience and a reputation for fighting fiercely for your rights. For relentless representation that you can trust, call Keith Short and Associates at 618-254-0055 today for a free consultation.
Do you need to declutter your space? Time to call me, the Queen of Junk. Since 1993, we have grown to be the leader in residential, commercial, and property management junk removal. At Sparks Junk Removal, we are eco-friendly. We recycle, donate, or repurpose items back into our community. Trash is our last resort to the landfill. Plus, with our all-inclusive service, our crews handle everything from labor to lifting and landfill fees. Give us a call or visit our website, sparksjunkremoval.net, to reclaim your space today.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible, covering auto, home, business, and life insurance. Our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
What's up? It's Mike Keith. What's up, bro? Good, my guy. Back to spotlight other amazing alumni and how they discovered their path at Lewis and Clark. Let's jump into it. This is Dwight Wirtz, president of Wirtz Welding and Tank Service, the nation's premier distributor of tank trailer parts. Dwight has been an outspoken and long-time supporter of the college and is the current chairperson of Lewis and Clark Board of Trustees. Oh, and he's a Lewis and Clark grad.
I'm Dwight Wirtz, and I am a trailblazer.
Throughout all life stages, you need someone in your corner, guiding you on your health and wellness journey. At OSF Healthcare, that's your primary care provider. Your OSF primary care provider is there for every stage of life. Find a provider today at osfhealthcare.org/primary.
How about that? Ice cream. I forgot to put a title in the first time. You were top of the hour news.
Well, this is important.
You
top
are
of the
news.
Hour news.
Ice cream and TB.
Yeah, not a combination you really think of most of the time.
Thank goodness for modern medicine.
Because of this kind of thing.
And
that's why we don't think of it.
Modern medicine.
Modern.
Did we get TB vaccines?
Oh my gosh. I don't think bovine TB vaccines, but maybe cows. I have no idea.
Way above our pay grade.
No idea.
How's life at the library?
It's good. It's good. We've got the fire. Yeah, you're all tangled up.
It's really been rough on me today.
Got the fireplace going the last couple of days with how snowy and cold it's been. So it's like
you were snowed off on Monday,
right? Yes,
and that's a good thing.
Yes, yeah. We didn't want anyone to go out when it was dangerously.
I couldn't get out.
Yeah.
No, that was.
You couldn't get out.
Oh man,
I
was snow. No, I'm not blaming anybody. It's just they don't get to the alleys right away.
Yeah.
My neighbor actually did it. Thank God to him.
Nice.
It's just brutal, But I got to stay inside.
Good. Yeah. I'm glad that most places closed so that their employees didn't have to go out into sort of treacherous driving weather.
I agree. What are you writing about this week?
Oh, okay. So I was going to write about one thing. I'm going to tell you what I almost wrote about, and then I'll tell you what I'm actually writing about, because what I almost wrote about got too complicated and I couldn't figure it out. That happens sometimes.
That has me intrigued.
Yes. So what I was going to write about was this post office robbery that happened in 1924 in Alton, this Alton post office robbery. They stole like between $30,000 and $50,000 worth of stamps. And it was a huge deal, like blew the safe, and then no one got caught for 2 years. And then in January 1926, the fiance of what turned out to be one of the robbers went to the police because her fiance had told her the entire story of the robbery and then left her.
Yeah, you have it coming.
Like,
you have it coming.
All right.
You have it coming.
Cool. And it was such a great story. I was excited about it. And I wanted to learn more about all the people and the woman and everything. And then it just got really, really, really complicated because post office theft is really, 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 really complicated.
Yeah.
And I realized it was going to take way longer than I could do to like give enough information about the actual robbery, which had happened 2 years before that. And there'd been all these things in the meantime. But when she went to the authorities, they ended up arresting 7 people like immediately after that. So I feel like the lesson was, don't jilt someone and then not expect your secrets.
Never discuss the family business. The guy should have watched Godfather. What the hell was he thinking? Yeah. Well, so you aren't writing about it now?
I'm not writing about that, but if anyone's interested, I'll send you articles. No, what I'm writing about is it's not as exciting, but it was the January graduation for Alton High School, because in those times they had a June graduation and a January graduation every year. So
see, now they just make them all wait till.
They just make them all wait. Yeah, it was a smaller class for the January, but they had that every year. And there were a couple of really interesting people that were featured in the graduation ceremony, and so I'm going to.
Was it Clint Walker?
It was not Clint Walker. Dang. No, there was.
What school did he go to?
Oh, it wasn't Alton. It was near here, but I can't remember exactly which high school. I'll write about him at some point.
It's not 100 years ago, but it would be cool to talk about all the movies that have been filmed in Alton.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
There were a lot of times when Alton was used. Like in the 70s, there was a big bowling movie that was shot here.
We have most of them at the library.
My grandpa had one of them over for dinner, one of the actors. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Get a lot of birthday love. Sorry.
Yay.
I'm getting distracted.
Happy birthday.
I forgot what the name of that movie was. I'm going to look.
Okay, you look. But yeah, so there was a woman who was the valedictorian, and her name, I think, is Caroline Haberer. And so I've done a little bit of research on her. And then there was also...
Dreamer.
Okay. A man that was honored, and his story was incredible. He was an orphan from Ukraine and had made it to the United States by way of like Japan and Hawaii, and lived in Godfrey and walked from Godfrey to Roosevelt High School every day for school. And he went on to have an interesting life too. Stayed in Godfrey. So talk a little bit about them.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it was. This is not. It's not the first time this has happened where I start writing an article
and then it kind of dovetails. Yeah,
it gets too complicated. It's a bigger story than I have the amount of space or time for.
Did you know my knee just explode?
Ooh,
no. Oh, okay.
Soccer injuries?
No, that's just wear and tear. I'm like a Honda Civic, a lot of city miles. I'm pretty sure it was Jack Warden they had over for dinner.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I'm almost positive because I remember him saying he was in 12 Angry Men too, and that would have been Jack Warden. Yeah. Anyway, Dreamer.
Nice.
It was shot at Bull Haven on
Oh yeah. Okay.
So there you go. Don't forget Harold Dreamer Nuttingham. I did. I never even watched the damn movie. Who can forget about the young man dreams and struggles to become a
before we were born.
Don't forget Dreamers at 10 pin whiz. Oh man, I want to know how much money this darn thing made. Oh, it had a $6.4 million budget in 1979. That's pretty interesting. It was 2.9 for the movie, $3.5 million for the budget. 1.5 stars out of 4. The Chicago Tribune called it hopelessly predictable. Variety wrote, shamelessly attempting to be a Rocky of the bowling world. Wow, listen to this. Dreamer is a preposterous, colorless, down-home fantasy about a youth who makes the jump from an unknown bush leaguer to national champion in 3 easy lessons. Wow. They really hated this.
They did not like it. Maybe that's why we haven't seen it.
It's because Rocky came out first. I bet you a Dreamer came out first. They would have been all over Rocky. Stallone would have never made it. Never made it.
Maybe he would have been in Dreamer instead.
But the Los Angeles Times called it a nice little movie, a pleasant piece of Midwestern Americana, refreshing in its lack of gratuitous sex and gore, but also likely too mild for some taste. I love where our segments lead. We'll take We got to straighten up your bosses here. 10:35, a little bit of change. Executive Director Mary Cordes, Hayner Library, joins us for Beyond the Shelves. Lacey, I'm excited to learn about your next piece next week. Take a quick break. Daily Show next.
Struggling with depression that just won't go away? At Precision TMS, we offer a non-invasive, drug-free treatment designed to target the areas of the brain linked to mood regulation. Using FDA-cleared transcranial magnetic stimulation, gentle magnetic pulses help reactivate underperforming brain circuits without surgery or sedation. Many patients experience real relief, even after other treatments haven't worked. Our experienced team provides personalized care every step of the way. Contact Precision TMS today to see if TMS therapy is right for you.
Throughout all life stages, you need someone in your corner, guiding you on your health and wellness journey. At OSF Healthcare, that's your primary care provider. Your OSF primary care provider is there for every stage of life. Find a provider today at osfhealthcare.org/primary.
As America prepares to celebrate 250 years of freedom, there's never been a better time to show your pride. The Flag Keeper provides everything you need to display your flag with honor, from American state and U.S. Armed Service flags to flagpoles, accessories, and installation kits for homes and businesses across the Riverbend area. Call 618-467-0020 or or visit theflagkeeper.com for your free estimate today.
Accidents happen in a heartbeat, but lives change forever. Whether it's a car crash, workplace injury, medical malpractice, or wrongful death, you don't have to face the consequences alone. Keith Short and Associates brings over 33 years of experience and a reputation for fighting fiercely for your rights. For relentless representation that you can trust, call Keith Short and Associates at 618-254-0055 today for a free consultation.
Tomorrow isn't built by dreamers. It's built by doers. Because progress doesn't work unless we do. So at Amrit, we've been hard at work putting energy to work for you. Adding underground cables, installing advanced switches and sensors, storm hardening poles and power lines, making the energy grid stronger today so it can meet your needs tomorrow. Learn about projects in your area at Ameren.com/energyfuture.
At Alton Elite Jiu-Jitsu, we help students of all ages build confidence, discipline, and real-world strength. Join a supportive community that challenges you to grow both on and off the mat. Experience the art of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu with a 7-day free trial at our new location. Call 618-795-2692 or visit AltonElite.com to start your journey today. Train hard, serve others, live elite at Alton Elite Jiu-Jitsu.
Do you need to declutter your space? Time to call me, the Queen of Junk. Since 1993, we have grown to be the leader in residential, commercial, and property management junk removal. At Sparks Junk Removal, we are eco-friendly. We recycle, donate, or repurpose items back into our community. Trash is our last resort to the landfill. Plus, with our all-inclusive service, our crews handle everything from labor to lifting and landfill fees. Give us a call or visit our website, sparksjunkremoval.net, to reclaim your space today.
Alrighty.
All right.
Sorry about the lights. They're trying to fix them down here.
Oh, that's all
yeah,
right.
no, I'm leaving the
wasn't here
show
long enough
yesterday,
to-
and well, I'm like, man, it looks kind of different outside, and I realized there was no light bulbs on at all.
Oh, that'll do it.
It's been an interesting day in this. I mean,
it has been an
someone
interesting couple of days downtown.
Oh, it has.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And shout out to the
Who did
street
your parking
department for digging us out. So we had Tycon do our parking lot.
They did
so they did a
awesome.
great job. And then also a big thank you to Stutz Excavating as well, because Stutz dug out our sidewalks, because shout out to the street department for getting downtown cleared up, but you can't put the snow. There's nowhere to put the snow. So unfortunately, when they're plowing the streets, it goes on the sidewalks, but then we can't get it with the shovel. So shout out to Tycon and to Stutz for getting us cleared out and ready to go.
We're back.
We're back in business. So
well, and going into this, the library is always going to be, in business. That's the good thing. And you guys have a lot of cool stuff. The first time we talked this month, man, it was like just nonstop event after event.
Yep, it's still going on. And before we jump into that, I also want to give a big shout out to Sherry and Josh, who are our maintenance crew.
They're awesome.
They're awesome, and they came in on Sunday after they got their houses dug out. They came in on Sunday and they started digging us out, and then everything that they did got dumped back on it. So then they came back on Monday while we were closed, and also dug us out along with Tycon and with Stutz. So big shout out to Sherry and Josh too. So
that's It's really
sorry.
really
I just didn't want to leave them out of it.
Well,
so,
and with it being so dang cold, I mean, it's
was
one thing
so
when
cold.
it's 12 inches of snow like
it was
November.
So cold. Yeah,
but man, that was brutal.
Yeah, it was brutal, and they did a great job.
And then, I guess before we get into events, the other bit of business is, did you guys still technically activate as a warming center throughout the day?
We are. So that's the thing too. Lots of people think, oh, if the school district's closed, then the library's closed as well. Really, the library just closes when the staff. It's not safe for the staff to get, because we have staff that's coming from Bethel or from Bunker Hill area and Medora area and Edwardsville and Belleville and Alton and Godfrey. So we have to take into consideration the safety of the staff and the patrons. We don't want patrons getting out on the road if they don't need to. So we'll close for that. But the cold, we're open, even if it's below freezing. We're open. We don't close for cold because we are a warming center.
Well, I think it's always good to make those notes, because my thing is, it's not necessarily for maybe the unhoused or the homeless or what. It's for people that maybe have their heat go out that day and they don't know where to go for a few hours.
We had that happened to a staff member.
Oh, I bet.
Their furnace went out and they're like, well, I'd rather be at work. It's warmer at work today than it is at home. But we've had some patrons who've come in, and said, I'm here. They turned my heat off at home, they have a home. They have a furnace. It's just not on because their power's been turned off. So it's for anybody that needs to warm up. So
really good to note that, and good for the public to note that too.
At all 3 locations. So
that's even better.
Not just at one. So the mall, the downtown library, and the Genealogy and Local History Library. So all 3.
Really cool.
Yeah.
Well, Mary, take it away. What is coming down the Hayner pipeline?
We have our adult puzzle race challenge, which this filled up fast. So this is full, but it is tomorrow.
Is it really?
It's tomorrow, January 29th from 6 to 7:30 at the mall library. And we have teams. We have 7 teams of 4 people. And they are all going to compete in that hour and a half to put together a 500-piece jigsaw puzzle. And whoever does it the fastest wins a prize. And so we did this once before, and it filled up. So we expanded it to 7 teams this time, and it filled up right away, too. So that's tomorrow
really
night. Yeah,
cool.
That's our adult puzzle race challenge. So that's going on. Another program that's filled up, the Ghosts Next Door, the Milton Schoolhouse.
I figured that one would
that
click.
one filled up. That is on January 29th from 7 to 8. And so we are having, we're going to talk about the history of the Milton Schoolhouse. And then we're also going to combine local history with the ghost hunting. And so we'll also talk about the haunted history of the Milton Schoolhouse as well. Then we have, I'm just going to keep going. We've got Blind Date with a Book, and that is going to be for the first 2 weeks of February. We're going to have a display out, and we will have all of these different books wrapped up with paper so you can't tell what the book is. It'll just have like 1 or 2 keywords on the front, so it's sort of a blind pick. So you just grab one off the shelf and check it out, and you might find a new author, you might find a new title that you like or a series, but it's kind of just you never know. You might fall in love with a book. So that's a blind date with a book. And then our other program that's coming up is we have the Vintage Voices Players. So this is one we're really excited about. This is the Lovejoy Legacy. So this one has spaces that are open because we're having it in our performance room, which is upstairs and can hold about 100 to 125 people. And we do still have seats available. So this is Thursday, February 12th. At 6 o'clock p.m. at the Alton Square Mall upstairs. So, and again, I know I say this a lot, but if you can't navigate stairs, please park upstairs because the escalator is at the mall is not working. So this is February 12th, 6 p.m. We're going to have 5 performers who have performed at Vintage Voices past at the Alton City Cemetery, and each one of them is connected somehow to Elijah Lovejoy, and so they're going to recreate through first-person portrayals their connection to Lovejoy and tell the Lovejoy story by the people who either knew him or carried on his legacy. So we have somebody who's going to portray Celia Lovejoy, his Lovejoy's widow, William Scotch Johnson, who is a free black man who secretly buried Lovejoy's body, Amanda Kitchell Shavers, whose freedom was secured when Alton citizens united to purchase it, Thomas Dimmock, who led the effort to build the Lovejoy Monument, and Isaac Kelly, who was the first official Lovejoy grave trustee. So we're going to have 5 people recreate this. It's going to be a really great night. So we hope people can come out for that.
Do you have to call the 1-800 number?
You do. So if you could call the 1-800 number, and it's on our website, on our events calendar. All of this is on our events calendar. But the number is 1-800-613 3163. And so you can call that and just register, and we'll save you a seat for that.
And that'll be one, really, if you have time to go.
That one I'm looking forward to. I'm bringing a couple family members to that one, too. That should be a really good one. So...
That's going to be great. Well, and then following that, fill me in. What is Palentine's?
So then the very next day, we have our Palentine's game night. So this is a game night. It's a Palentine's Day, which is a take on Valentine's Day, but it's for you and all your friends. So it's a night of friendship and fun, and it's going to be a Palentine's Day game night. So you can come. We're going to have all kinds of different games, so board games, card games, snacks, all kind of with a Valentine theme, a love theme. But it's just a day for people to, an evening for people to come with their friends to the library and play games and have snacks and hang out. And that is the night before Valentine's Day, so it's Friday, February 13th from 6 to 7:30
Oh, that'll
at the
be
mall.
cool. Well,
yeah, it should be a lot of fun.
And I'm just saying, I mean, there's a lot of great restaurants around the mall.
Yes.
And you can go and find some good stuff right afterwards.
Yeah, exactly.
Or before.
Or before, if you're an early bird. We've sort of
I
started
am.
preaching the wonders of eating dinner really early. We're like joking about going for the early bird
always
special.
did that. 4 o'clock was when we had dinner as a family.
Yeah.
And I keep it going.
Yeah. So yeah, go before or after, support a local business, and then come to the library for Palentine's Day. So yeah.
For sure. I love this.
Yeah.
Well, and Mary, that leads me in, because I know that whenever we get into, Valentine's Day in like middle February into March, that's when you start to see a lot more events too, because you guys because you're busy now, but
we're busy now, and we do get busy. So we have, those are adult, these are kind of adult and family events that I was talking about. But for our kids and for our teens, we do the same thing. So we have our cookbook book club, which is coming up on February 19th.
Is that still going well? I hope it is.
Great. People love it.
That's a great addition.
You just come to the library, to the mall library, and you take a look at the current book that we have on display, the current cookbook. We have a theme, and then you can choose a recipe from that cookbook, and then you come back and make it and bring it with you. And then everybody that's in this club talks about their favorite recipes and cooking tips and the cookbooks that we have at the library, and then they taste each other's creations. And this one, we actually don't have a book selected. It is just you bring a recipe from your favorite cookbook.
I love that.
And then we'll talk about that.
I think it's so cool because it really highlights what the library is meant for, and that's community.
It is. It absolutely is. That's one of the things that we're really trying to impress upon people, is that the library isn't just this place that's a repository for books, which we have over 200,000 items in the collection,
and that's
so we
cool.
have that in addition. But one of the things too that we're doing is trying to create a sense of community and a sense of place for people to come and enjoy each other's company and get to meet new people, or bring the people currently that you do know in your life to the library and just hang out and learn things and have a good time.
I think a big component for you guys too, and this isn't, every library I think does a very good job in this area, but what I think you and your staff do for events is, being community doesn't mean just putting on a block party-esque type of an event and saying everyone's welcome. There's different interests in each community. And I think that you guys do a really good job of letting staff explore their interest and showcase that to the community. And it really fits that larger package of not just, okay, here's an overall community event. Here's something for all the knitters out there. Here's something for the food lovers. Here's some, there's something for
the history
everybody.
lovers. And that's what we do. And I know I say this a lot, but it's true. We have a fantastic staff, and the staff listens to the patrons that come in the library, or they're out and about in town and they hear somebody mention something, and they come back and they say, we've got this group of people that is interested in this. Can we give it a try? And if we can make it happen, we'll try it. And if it works, great. If it doesn't, we try something else. But we're giving people what they want, what we think that they want. And like you said, it's for all different interests. So if history isn't your thing, but maybe knitting is, then you can come to our craft program. But if your history is your thing, you can come to, we're going to have our program on the deaths of Abraham and Mary Lincoln's sons. So you can come to that. You can come to the, you can come to the genealogy programs that we have. There's just something for everybody. And, the other thing is they're all free. So even if you don't think you're a history person, but you think, I might try it, the price is right, you might as well come out and try it.
Well, I feel like we all get into that point, right, where it's like, man, I wish there was something to do that's town related, and I think every once in a while throughout the year, even when I was younger, man, I wish there was a community event going on. These are the perfect ones to go to,
and especially in the winter. We're all stuck at home. It's freezing cold outside. It's dark early, and you're sitting at home and you think, I cannot watch another episode of Law and Order. I just can't do it. I can't do it. What's going on in town? Well, just grab the library newsletter or go on the library website, because I guarantee you there's a program going on. We have programs 7 days a week. Some of them are passive program for kids where families can come in and participate in like a treasure hunt, but we have a lot of active programs too, and I'm sure there's something for everybody at some point throughout the week that if you're looking for something to do that's free.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What is this upcoming presentation here about Abraham Lincoln and Mary Todd
George
Sons?
Provenzano, PhD. George is a local economist, and he also is a history, is really interested in history and is a historian. And so he is presenting a program on Wednesday, February 25th at the Genealogy and Local History Library at 6 o'clock. And it is the death and funeral of Abraham and Mary Lincoln's sons, Eddie and Willie. And so, as we all know, the Lincolns were a pretty tragic family.
Yeah.
And not only did they endure Lincoln's assassination, but Lincoln and Mary Todd also endured the deaths of two of their children. And so we're going to be talking about the sons, two of their four sons who died, Eddie and Willie, and their lives, but the impact that their deaths had on both of their parents, because they had a huge impact. And we'll also be discussing, how they mourned, the infectious diseases that the children were experiencing during the day, and how that shaped
Who died
society.
in the White House? Which one?
So I believe that was Eddie died in 1850, so it would have been Willie. Willie died in 1862 while they were in the White House. So
really what Mary
Willie.
Todd went through, and really at a time when mental health wasn't examined or looked at.
Yeah.
It's such a sad. It's such
so
a
tragic.
Before the Kennedys, a Camelot story to pull the country together while you're literally dealing with, or try to pull the country together while you're going through just tragedy and turmoil.
It's a woman who lost, two of her sons were so she saw the death of her two of her children. She saw her husband assassinated, went through the war. Her family was divided between the North and the South. So this woman went through a lot, and we just hear, oh, crazy Mary Todd. Well, maybe there was a reason that Mary Todd had
it would have taken me a lot fewer time than Mary Todd to have the issues, to be honest
So
with
we're
you.
going to talk about all of that. And I know it sounds like a real,
But
bummer
it's
of a
so
program, but it's
fascinating.
fascinating. The story of these people and what they endured really for our country.
I really encourage people this year, especially kids my age, to do more things like that,
Yeah.
because it's our country's 250th birthday,
Yeah,
and that's still
yeah.
it's such a cool thing.
It
And
is.
That leads me to this. What's Discover Washington?
So Discover
DC?
Washington DC, and I'm glad we're going to talk about this, because we had someone who contacted the library, and I'm really glad that we were able to clear up any confusion. Someone thought we were taking, how banks and things will take a tour of Washington DC.
Yeah.
This is actually, we're going to bring Washington DC to Alton. So on Tuesday, March 10th, from
President
6 to
Trump
7
will not
o'clock-
be in attendance.
No, he will not. From 6 to 7 o'clock p.m. It'll just be library people. At the mall library upstairs in the performance room, March 10th, 6 to 7. It's called Discover Washington, D.C., A Monumental Journey. And so Lucretia Huff, who is a licensed tour guide, she's going to come to the library for an hour-long presentation, and she's going to talk about all of the different monuments, all of the different landmarks in Washington, D.C., talk about the history of them, talk about how they were formed, what they mean. She'll have different photos, different things, and she'll highlight not only the landmarks like the Washington Monument, the Lincoln Memorial, the Jefferson Memorial. She's also going to talk about the Smithsonian Museum, and she's going to talk about all the things in the collection there and dive in sort of to the entire history of the Washington, D.C. monument scene.
Because there's a lot of students that I know do the DC trip still, or even families that are going. How great would it be to get a little bit of insights before you go?
Exactly. Yeah, did you do the Washington
I
trips
did.
when you were kids?
No.
Yeah, we did it in the 8th grade at West Middle School and had a great time. And since then, I've been to Washington 2 or 3 more times. I think about 3 more times.
They actually have my sign on our picture on the door.
Oh, really?
They won't let me in.
They see you coming in and they say,
good
no.
old convenience store photo, right?
Yeah. No, it's such a great city. It's probably my favorite American American city because of all the.
Yeah.
I'm a history nut.
Oh, yeah.
So all the history that's there. So we'll talk about all of that, and then to wrap up March for the adult programming, we are going to have classical guitarist Peter Fletcher. So again, you talk about that kind of width and
well-rounded,
breadth of well-rounded programs. So he's going to be coming March 24th from 6 to 7 o'clock, and he is going to. It says that Peter holds a master's degree from the Eastman School of Music, and he's been performing full-time for over 20 years. He's played at Carnegie Hall. He's played at the Inner Church in New York City, and he is going to be coming and playing different compositions for us, all different kinds of, from British composers, Spanish composers, Italian composers. He's even going to play some Bach on the lute. So he's got a wide repertoire, and he's going to be playing for us. And again, that's a free program. So yeah,
this is going to be really cool.
Yeah.
Well, Mary, anything else happening at the library right now?
Well, we've got still due through the end of the month, so you still have a couple of days if you want to do fine amnesty for any overdue materials that you currently have checked out, even if they've been marked lost. You can bring those in along with a warm weather or cold weather item like hats, gloves, scarves, that kind of thing. We'll waive your fine as long as it's a Hayner Library item and as long as it's still checked out to you. And then you also have a couple of days through the end of the month. If you have any old Christmas lights, string lights, patio lights, any of those old broken lights that are strand lights, you can drop those off at the library. Any library location, you just literally walk in the front door, toss them in the bin, and head out.
Can I say something on that real quick? If you guys are doing that, and this is something I was talking about last year, whether it's Walmart or whatever, they do really good like 50 packs of those Mylar thermal blankets.
Yes,
and they're $35, but those are really good items, and they do work. And
they really do work. They really do work. And you think about now, it's wet. It's not just cold, it's wet.
That's the bottom. You know, I'm sorry. I don't care where you stand. Everyone has the right to be warm.
Exactly.
You know,
exactly.
So if you do that, those are options that really would help.
Those are great because they'll keep people dry as well as warm. So yeah.
Mary, anything else to talk about?
No, just that. You know, apparently everybody in Alton's got a lot of lights because we thought we'd fill up maybe like one little Rubbermaid tub. They're bringing in bins on wheels, like these giant recycle. We've filled, I think, 3 of them already. So Alton, y'all got a lot of lights. So, but that's okay. That's what we want. All those would have gone into a landfill.
Well,
so
little
they're
did
not
they
going
tell
into
you
a landfill. They're getting recycled.
They didn't tell you they tore them off their neighbor's house that's been up there for 4 years.
I'm tired of looking at these lights. It's almost February. So yeah.
Always great talking to you, Mary.
You too.
We'll see you on Monday.
Yep.
And we'll see you for our first Monday show of February. January flew on by.
It did. It really did.
Thank goodness for that.
I know.
We'll see you back here tomorrow. Man, birthday show's over.
Oh, well, is it your
time
birthday?
Time for lunch.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. All right, be good and try your best to stay out of jail.